Hello and welcome to the How Do I Tell These Stories podcast, the show where we take the absolutely bonkers stories of ancient India and make sure you never forget them. I'm your host, and today's episode is a story of the person who was born before the Pandavas, forgotten before they arrived, and will die the day after the war ends. He's the most decorated archer of his era. He's the most generous man in the story. He is the son of God. He is the son of a charioteer. He's exactly as dangerous as both of those things suggest. His name is Karna. All right, but before we begin, thank you everyone for being here with me. This is the season finale of the first season. We'll be back with season 2 and the stories will continue. But now is the time to celebrate what we've accomplished 11 episodes and 2 bonus episodes, kickstarting this great learning journey and storytelling journey with me. Thank you for being here. Honestly, thank you so much. All right, and back to our story. There's a basket floating on a river. It is dawn. The water is the color of old bronze. The basket is lined with cotton and silk. And if you look closely, flowers. Someone took care with this basket. Someone put everything they had into making it soft. Inside the basket, a baby, armored, golden earrings. Already, in the baby's ears, eyes open, not crying. The river is Charmanvati, modern-day Chambal. If you've driven through the ravines of Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan, you've been near this water. The Chambal is a strange river. It flows north before it turns east. It cuts through some of the wildest land in India. The Bihar, those deep ravines that for centuries the maps just described as ungovernable. To this day, known as notoriously impenetrable. It has never been a gentle river. It has always moved on its own terms. The basket moves east on the Chambal, east toward the Ganga, east toward a place that one day will be called Anga, roughly what we'd now call Bihar and parts of Jharkhand, east towards a charioteer named Adhirath and his wife Radha, who are not expecting anything today. This is not a Pandav story. This is a story of the person who was born before the Pandavas, the eldest child of Kunti. Quick context, and if you haven't listened to episode 10 yet, go do that, because the full story of how Kunti got a divine boon from the sage Durvasa is extraordinary, and I gave it the time it deserved over there. Short version for now, Durvasa, Sage Durvasa, the most difficult house guest in the history of Mahabharata, possibly in the history of hospitality, came to stay at Kunti's father. Kunti was assigned to look after him. She did a great job, and Durvasa, pleased, gave her a mantra. Call any god you choose, and that god will give you a child with their divine qualities. Kunti, curious and young, tested it. She was young. She had this magical thing. It was right there. It was morning and the sun was right there. She called Surya, the sun god. Surya arrived. She panicked. The mantra did not have an undo function. A child was born at dawn during a shad monsoon light, gold and sideways. He came out in full armor, already wearing golden earrings. He did not cry. Kunti was unmarried. The child was impossible to explain, so she did the only thing available to her. She made a basket, lined with cotton and silk and flowers, with the care of someone who needs it to be perfect, because this is the only thing she can control. She carried him to the river, what we call the Chambal today, before everyone was awake. She placed the basket on the water. She watched it go. She went back inside and behaved as if everything was normal. She carried this for the rest of her life. The basket moved east, chumbled into Yamuna, Yamuna into Ganga, Ganga east through what is now Bihar and Jharkhand. And the armor child inside, it did not cry. It came to rest at a riverbank near Hastinapur, where a man named Adirath was walking in the early morning. Adirath was a charioteer, a Sut, the people who drove the kings into battle and remembered what happened afterward. He was Dhritarashtra's charioteer. He was good at his job and unremarkable in every other way, which, in the Mahabharata, if you think about it, is a superpower. So, Adhirath found the basket, he carried it home, and his wife Radha opened it. Radha looked at this child, this impossible, armored, gold earringed child who was clearly not a regular infant, and she picked him up and called him her own. They name him Vasusena. He is of great wealth, clearly, for the gold he was born wearing. He was Radheya, son of Radha. He was Sutaputra, son of a charioteer. He became eventually Karna, named for the earrings, the kundala, the ones that came with him out of the river and that everyone who ever met him couldn't stop looking at. Here's what Karna was like a child. He trained obsessively. Dawn practice, dusk practice, practice in the dark because why not? He wanted to be the greatest archer in the world and he trained with the intensity that was needed. I mean, come on. After all, he's Surya's, the sun god's son. The divine inheritance runs straight, warmth, precision, and the capacity to light up a room and an absolute blazing inability to refuse a request from someone who needed something. This last characteristic will be very important. When Karna was old enough, he went to Drona. Drona, you're going to meet properly in season 2. But for now, he is the greatest living teacher of warfare in the world, period. He taught the Pandavas, he taught the Kauravas. If you wanted the best military education available, Drona was the address. Karna went, he asked to be taught. Drona said no. Not because Karna wasn't gifted or capable or hardworking. Drona knew exactly how gifted he was. But Drona taught princes. Drona taught the sons of kings and nobles. Sutaputra drive chariots. They don't learn to win wars. So Karna goes somewhere else. He goes to Parshuram, avatar of Vishnu, the sage warrior carrying an axe and some extremely specific grudges. Parshuram only taught Brahmins. So Karna told him that he was a Brahmin and figured out a way to get trained by him. He learned everything, every celestial weapon, the complete battle knowledge of one of the most formidable warriors in this or any story. He got it all. Then one afternoon, he fell asleep on Parshuram's lap. A bee stung him. Deep, the kind that makes any person cry out. Karna did not move. He endured the pain in silence because waking his teacher seemed worse. Parshuram woke on his own, saw the blood, and knew immediately that no Brahmin could ever have held that kind of pain, only a warrior. But instead of being impressed, Parshuram cursed Karna. In the moment of your greatest battle, when your life depends on remembering these weapons, you will forget. Karna comes home to Anga. He trained, he waited. He was still the greatest archer alive. And then there is a day in Hastinapur when everything pivots. The princes, Pandavas, the Kauravas together have completed their education under Drona. Their teacher arranges a display, an open house, the Rangabhumi, the arena. The princes will demonstrate what they've learned. The public is invited. The court watches. It's graduation day. The Pandavas perform, the Kauravas perform. Everyone is excellent. Then Arjun steps forward and the whole arena stops talking. You've met Arjun last episode. He's the son of Indra, the archer who trained in the dark because his fingers still found his mouth when the lamps went out. The man who practiced until skill became reflex, became instinct, became something the body does without asking the mind's permission. In this arena, on this day, Arjun is the best person anyone has ever seen. Crowd is on its feet. Drona is visibly proud. The Pandavas are beaming. Even the Kauravas, they have to admit that Arjun is quite special. And then someone walks into the arena. He is not invited. He has not been announced. He walks in like he knows the way and he's been here before in some version of this moment, and he takes up a position in front of Arjun. And then he repeats everything that Arjun just did. Every shot, every feat, every arrow, he matches it point for point without apparent effort, with a kind of calm that is not performing calm, that is just calm, easy. The way someone is calm when they know exactly what they're doing. He's operating only at 70% of his capacity, it looks like. The arena does not know what to do with this information. Kripacharya, another teacher standing nearby, does what tradition requires. He asks, "Who are you? And before you can challenge a prince, you have to tell us if you're eligible, if you also belong to the lineage of kings and queens." Karna stands there and says, "My name is Karna. My father is Adhirath. He is a charioteer." The arena shifts. You can feel it happening. The energy of the crowd that has just recalculated. Karna stands there. He doesn't have the lineage, but he's done the most remarkable thing anyone in this arena has seen in years. And does that not count because of his father's job? He doesn't look destroyed. He doesn't look like he's going to cry. He looks like a person who's been told a thing he already knew was coming and is deciding what to do with it now that it's arrived. Duryodhana stands up. Duryodhana, firstborn of the Kauravas, the 100 brothers. He walks into the arena. He has been watching. And surprisingly, he gives a speech. Duryodhana says that birth does not and should not determine worth. A person who can do what this man can do should be recognized for what he can do. Lineage is not skill. Skill is skill. And then he does something practical. He gives Karna the kingdom of Anga on the spot. He pulls out the relevant authority. He performs the ceremony right there in the arena. And Karna goes from being charioteer's son who cannot challenge a prince to king of Anga who can absolutely challenge whoever he wants. Just like that. We are going to spend a lot of time with Duryodhana in season 2. But for now, this moment matters. This is not a purely political calculation. It may be partly political, a powerful ally, a weapon against Arjun. But look at the timing. He stood up before he had the time to calculate and think through it. He moved before anyone asked him to. From this day, Karna and Duryodhana are each other's. Not political allies, friends. The real kind. The kind that forms in the arena in the moment of the insult, in the choice to stand up. Karna will fight for Duryodhana at Kurukshetra. The friendship made in that arena on that day is the most important relationship in the second half of this entire story. Anga, his kingdom. Karna also had the armor, the greatest flex in the Mahabharata. Let me tell you about the armor. Karna's kavach and kundala, the divine armor and earrings he was born with, they're not accessories. They're part of his body. The armor grew from his skin. As long as he wears them, no weapon in this world can kill him. He's effectively invincible. Indra, the king of Devs, gods of lightning, Arjun's divine father, has done the math on this and does not like the conclusion. Because Indra is Arjun's father. Arjun is going to have to fight Karna. And if Karna is wearing that armor, so Indra, Arjun's dad, does what Indra does, finds a workaround. You see, Karna has a practice. Every morning, without exception, he performs sun salutations, sun puja. Facing east, standing in the river or at the water's edge, arms raised, his back to the world. During this puja, there is a window. He's still. He's turned inward. And it is known throughout this world. And commoners and gods alike, everyone know that if you approach Karna during this morning puja and ask him for something, he will give it. He has never once refused a gift during this puja. It is one rule he has made for himself, and he has made it absolute. So Indra puts on the disguise of a Brahmin and walks down to the riverbank. Surya appeared to Karna the night before in a dream and told him, because Surya, the sun god, also wants to protect his son. He said, tomorrow a Brahmin is coming for your puja. He's going to ask you for your armor and your earrings. He's not what he appears. His dad has warned him. Karna wakes up from this dream, thinks of it just a dream, and goes about with his day and performs his puja. Indra arrives, performed the role of a Brahmin, made the request, your armors, your earrings, as charity. Karna looked at him. He said, I know who you are. He said, I know why you're here. I know you want this. I know you're Indra, and I know that Arjun is your son, and I know exactly what happens to my chances on that battlefield if I give you these. I know all of this. I'll give it to you anyway. He takes a knife, he cuts the armor from his own skin. It was part of him, and now it's gone. And Indra's standing there holding this armor, and he cannot speak. You know, there's something that can happen to people, to gods, to whoever, when they encounter a person who does what they said they would do, fully at full cost, with a smile. They don't know what to do with it. Indra, the king of the Devs, the gods, is completely disarmed by a charioteer's son on a riverbank. He gives Karna a gift in return, unprompted. He offers the Vasavi Shakti, his personal infallible weapon. One dart, one use, cannot miss, cannot be deflected. Whatever it's aimed at, it kills. Karna accepts it and decides to save it for Arjun. He carries this one weapon, this one-use infallible dart his whole life, pointed at his brother for a war that hasn't started yet. The thing Indra gave him specifically to reduce his power. Karna turns this into a plan. The question is he able to use it? There's only one way to find out. Keep listening. And with that, season 1, 11 episodes and 2 bonus episodes. Season 1 has come to an end. In season 2, the boys grow up. All the children grow up. A teacher arrives. A rivalry takes its shape. A game of dice that will change everything. And the women of the story, they're extraordinary women coming, begin to appear in full. Draupadi's about to enter. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you've been here from season 1, thank you so very much. Tell one person and come back for season 2. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, remember, behind every story is a great story.